Okay, so now this is the most you can do. At this stage, this is all you can do inside the cabin. You've got to go disconnect the AC hoses.
And the coolant hoses.
This off to get 2 nuts on the 2 AC hoses down here. Hard to see, but anyway, pretty straightforward. Oops.
Make sure the refrigerant has been properly evacuated before you take these 2 pipes off.
You want to take this off. Spin that off. Same size bolts. Pull these hoses off. It's fine. That's fine too. Good. That's disconnected.
These are the 2 pipes that connect to the heater core. They are filled with coolant, so you will want to drain the coolant before you disconnect one or the other. Ideally, you take this heat shield off, but mine's rusted out.
Took some finagling, but they are off and they're raised so they don't leak too badly. So now I can go back inside and do my thing there. I'm going to try and take off the blower motor assembly right now. And it looks to me like 2 bolts need to come off. 1, 2, 3 connectors on the bottom. This is the cooling unit. That would be the 3rd bolt there. 13s. 1, 2. Unscrew this sensor at the bottom. It's a Phillips. You can't. Got 1 more bolt down below. Bolts. Here has to come out. Moves now. I think you need to loosen this. Starting to take the cooling unit out. 1 bolt, 2 bolts. 3rd bolt underneath. Don't forget this connector here. Just almost making it out here. Christ. There we go. Anything in the way here? Lower motor comes out and cooling unit comes out. Oh, there's 1 thing. Alright. You can see where I had a leak down here. You can see the green dye from the AC oil. And I don't know exactly where it was, but it looks like it was in the compressor, or in the evaporator. So let's take this apart and have a look. Okay, so let's take this apart. I need the resistor. So I'm gonna take the resistor out. It's soaked in AC goo. I think the other one had a resistor. Take that apart. Now I need to. Ooh. Well, apparently this is still good, so no worries. Resistor goes in like so. Does it matter which way it goes in? If I put that in wrong. No. Like so. This is right. Upside down. Okay, let's put that here. Let's take out the air filter, have a look. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's all my AC refrigerant oil. And can't really tell. Honestly, it actually looks fine. But clearly it wasn't. It was rusting down at the bottom. I would think from all there's some debris at the bottom. So I'm guessing it rusted. Could take it apart, I guess, and have a look. Wow. Hard to tell. That's neat. It's pretty cool. I got this all covered up here. So it looks to me like it just hard to tell where it was leaking. Except it's just leaking. Get down in the corner, but it's really hard to tell. Down at the bottom. That's for sure. This stuff. Alright. Well. It's pretty neat, this sealing stuff. Looks like the hose itself. There's an awful lot of refrigerant oil. Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. This is the part that was leaking. The part of the, I don't know if it's this wire here or the hose itself, but This is clearly the problem. Back it goes. So now, what we've got here is, wow. This is the next step, because I think that is the heater core, and that's what we need to get at. Okay, just I've taken out the cooling unit and the fan assembly, and I'm working on the middle, slowly but surely. So what I have done is pulled this upwards, and it just came right apart. And as you can see, the foam is just non-existent. It's in place with a single clip. Got 2 bolts up here, 1, 2. Once again, they're 13s. 1. 2. Wrench here.
What I'm doing here is removing the 2 nuts at the bottom. They're quite difficult to access, so I ended up using just a regular wrench because they're not on very tight.
I got both bolts out, and it took some difficulty to try and get at them. Kind of had to face them straight ahead and do your best to turn them. They're not on very tight, so that's not too bad. So the unit's now disconnected, but man, there's not much play. I think what they suggest to do next is loosen this up, give yourself some room to be able to pull that out. And connect this right here, at this point. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm disconnecting this one. Another blower motor, I think. There we go. Disconnect this single bolt right here. To free things up a little bit more before I took it out. Phillips screw down there that should release the lower plastic vents. So, and then you have room to drop the vent. Pull it out. That's my stereo. This is disconnected clearly on this side. Let's have a look at the other side. That's disconnected. Get this out of here. I don't. Alright, well, it's loose. I just haven't been able to get it out. But there's also this little, it's hard to see it, but there's an insert here. There's an arm at the bottom, and it's got to fit into the insert that is part of the top bolt. These 4 bolts here to slide, to be able to slide this metal bit backwards to make room for the unit to come out the passenger side. I'm just going to take out these 4 bolts. 1, 2, and then 2 on the other side. 2. Enough room, you would think, to be able to slide this out, but no, not. Why not? Bolts here. Out, so it'll allow me to slide this forward. At least that's my hope. Rusty bolts. One of these. One of these. Loosen this. some room. Let's do the other side. That out. Good. So now that should give me more room. Yes, it should. Okay. All this. Let's move this forward. Okay, that's a good room. I got this gizmo here in the way. This cruise control effing thing. Take that out, 2 Phillips. Take that around. These out. Something's stuck here. Screw it. All 4. That should do it. This is getting annoying. Okay. There we go. Shit. Make sure to plug this thing. I don't know what that is, but it must have been plugged. Success. Got this thing out. This is what I need to replace. Awesome. Heater core inside. I'm just gonna carefully take off this here. Next step, take off those 2 bolts. Maybe I didn't need to take that off. Maybe these are the rings I'm gonna get. Nah, shoot. Come the screws out. Should be able to just lift this off. Just a good hand here. Pull that off. These are the O-rings, I think. Identical pipes? No. So this pipe is here. And then do the same thing to the other side. Pry this apart. Lift it off. Pull the hose off. Get this thing off. You should be able to just pull this heater core right out. Just there's a temp sensor of some sort down here. I think it rests at the bottom. So you just need to make sure it sits back in place. You put everything together in decent shape, and then a couple little notches there. It was not leaking, but I was in there, so figured might as well replace it. It's pretty good. So the idea here is I'm going to get a replacement heater core. I'll need to put sealing tape back on, similar to the way this has been placed. And then I'll slip it back in and put it back in the car. Got my heater core replacement. Got it off eBay. It's in Nissan's core, and actually it comes with tape to replicate the setup of the original. Yeah, not bad. And the heater core itself looks to be decent. So we're in good shape to begin the replacement. Looks identical. Holes are in the same spot. Unit is the same size. That is a good news. So I'm going to start by replicating where the tape is. You guys can figure that part out, but basically I'm going to try and replicate that setup onto the new heater core. We're back. Putting heater core back in. Wow, a lot easier to put back in. I'll tell you that much. Good. The other side's not. I'm gonna have to go on the driver's side. There. That's what I'm looking for. So you want to make sure the heater core is leaning on its supports at the back. There are 4. And then the top ones as well. Here, put on the bolts loosely. There we go. Other side. Ouch. It's a 13. So I'm just going to tighten this up. Tighten it up at the bottom. Awkwardly positioned here. So, pliers. Oh, can I get in there with pliers? Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to use some pliers. If I can tighten that up a little bit more. Okay. Tighten the other side. Problem is you can't get in here with a proper ratchet, so you gotta do what you can to tighten this up as best you can. It's not critical. And honestly, it wasn't on there very tight to begin with, so back here. Good enough. Again. Well, I can't get in there very well. Good. Good. It's solid. Okay, so then I think I screwed. I put this back in. That was just a screw. Tight. So next the vents go in. I'm not sure I can put the vents in when I think I may have made a mistake. trouble with something. I'm having trouble getting the vents back in. I snapped a little tiny clip that was supposed to hold that top vent against the... I was having a lot of difficulty getting this bottom vent back in. So one thing that of course helps is putting the foam block back in to put some upward pressure. But there's also this little, it's hard to see it, but there's an insert here. There's an arm at the bottom, and it's got to fit into the insert that is part of the top piece. And when you do that, it fits snugly into place and everything is good. Just putting that center bracket back on. So that would be 2 bolts up top, 2 bolts up top. Gotta put this back on, that's 2 more bolts, and it's 2 more bolts at the bottom as well. A lot of bolts. Hey, those are tight, those are tight. Let's do the ones at the bottom. Done that. Okay, just got those 2 hoses to fit back on. So there we go, 1 on there. There, 2 on. Good. This up in a reasonable direction this time. It's a 7 mil. Just a matter of getting it on properly here. There we go. Tight. Is that good? I think so. Right there. Good.